Okay. Give me just a second, guys. I just ricocheted my phone across the room. I hope you guys can see. I'm trying to get the camera just right, and it's hard because there's a leg in the table. Okay. Sorry, I know it's like two minutes in and we're all over. Okay guys, so I know you can't see me. It's probably a good thing I look like a hot mess today. Hopefully you can hear me alright. I am showing you the board that sits in my living room right now. My dining room. Sorry. And I am ready to change it out for the season. I made this right around Christmas, actually, because I knew Valentine's Day was coming and I didn't want to switch it between then because I was super busy and, you know, whatever. So I am ready to switch it out, and I have big plans for it, and I was going to show you guys how to use fonts today, because that is what I plan to do, is customize it by using fonts. I cannot see comments at all, so if you've left any, I am not seeing them. My site is in the pinned post. So this is my little workspace. I have a tripod that is not of the greatest quality, so you'll see me have to play with it a few times probably today. So this was what hangs in my dining room currently. So I did it right before Christmas, and it was up all through Christmas, and then up until today, which makes me a tiny bit lazy. But I wanted to show you guys a few different things with this board today. So this is a chalk Couture board. This is the 18 by 12 by 18 Aiden with the black. I'm not even sure that we sell this exact board, but I know we sell Aidens because I own like 6. And this is one of 3 that hangs in my house. So first I wanted to demonstrate, like, this has been on here since before Christmas. I keep talking about how I need to paint my fingernails, so remind me, guys, to paint my fingernails, because all you guys do is stare at my hands. So I wanted to show you guys on our porcelain top of the line boards. I mean, they are just phenomenal chalkboards. And on most other boards too, because this is actually the paste and how the paste works. It just rubs right off. I mean, it takes some, you know, elbow grease, and you're working at it for a minute, but it comes right off. And I bet you're watching right now and thinking, that's not going to come off, because it's leaving marks, but it totally does. And also, this sits in my dining room on my back wall, so when you walk into my house or my garage, you see it. When you're sitting down at my kitchen table, you see it. And the idea for me behind it was to be able to switch it out seasonally. I was going to do a Christmas board, but I had gotten it just before Christmas, like a week maybe. And I actually hosted Christmas at my house for the first time ever this year. So I was a little stressed out, and so I just did a Valentine's Day, and I Love You a Bushel and a Peck is not even just Valentine's Day, but it was one of our releases in February that reminded me of Valentine's Day. So I used it. And then all I'm using right now is baby wipes. There is much more economical and environmentally friendly, there we go, way to get this off. And ordinarily I am down here, so it's kind of harder. I don't have running water down here. And my significant other, David, has decided that if I'm going to have a studio in the house, it needs to be downstairs, because I was overtaking the upstairs with all of my chalk stuff, which, if you could see the studio, you would completely understand. It is a lot of stuff. So as you see, it kind of rubs clean. So I want to show you that it doesn't take but a minute, 5, you know, because we've been talking for a minute. It takes about 5 minutes to get it clean, completely clean. And I'm super excited to make a board. So what I want to do today is, I have a few transfers that I'm going to pull from, because we had a happy birthday transfer come out, and it is fantabulous, except it is very small comparably to this board. And I will show it to you as soon as I'm done rubbing all this off. So it does take some elbow grease and a little bit of time to get it off, but this is also a larger board. We have amazing boards at Couture. They are porcelain and phenomenal. They're well taken care of. They're well made. They're very well made. If you were ever going to buy a board, especially one that you were going to hang like in your home, in a vocal point specifically, something that people are looking at, I recommend a Couture board all the way. Just got to get a little elbow grease in there. Make sure you're getting all of it out. I always have to get in the nooks and crannies, because I decorate the nooks and crannies all the time. It just rubs right off. And yes, I go through, you know, 4 wipes or so. Hi, Susan. I see you're watching. So it just rubs right off. Like I said, it does take some. For 5 minutes, we've been cleaning the same board. I wish it would have been a little faster for you guys so you could see that it's not as time consuming. However, it's a large board, so. So I always take my time to get all of the coloring off, because I don't want the purple in the background when I'm trying to do blue. While I'm cleaning this, I'm going to ramble a little bit about the company and all the cool things that we have going on. So May 1st, which was, today is the 8th, I believe. May 1st, which was just 7 days ago, we had a small release of transfers for Celebration Collection. And it included lots of fun summery stuff. So we have 4 a year that we release transfers, and in February we have one in February and then one in the summer where we release a large amount of transfers and new product. So our new product in February was our inks. So although I am not going to demonstrate that right now, if you look back at the page, you will see that I have in the past demonstrated how to use inks on t-shirts and on, I did a baby onesie for, I am 6 months pregnant now with my 3rd child, and we are naming him Baby Owen. So Baby Owen has a onesie already made for him that I made with Couture products. So if you look back though, you will see that I have demonstrated the ink in the past. So today I want to focus on this big, beautiful chalkboard. So Liliana is my daughter, and she is turning 5 this year. And because of how close my kids' birthdays are, Liliana is in the middle of May, and then Austin is at the very end. We decided to only have one birthday party for Liliana this year, since she's turning 5, and not to have one for Austin at all, except for a small family get-together on his birthday weekend, which is at the end of May. So what I wanted to do, I'm going to have all these, she's at a really cool age where she got to invite like friends, and up until now, all of her friends pretty much have been people that she knew through me. You know what I mean? They were my friends' kids, or people from work and their kids, or whatever. So now we're getting to an age where I am inviting people that I do not know to my home, and we are celebrating my daughter's 5th birthday in just a few weeks. And so I was hoping to get this board all prettied up and back on my dining room wall, And my idea is to use a few different transfers to write down happy birthday Liliana and Austin, since those are my kids and both of their birthdays are so quick. So even though we're not celebrating necessarily for Austin, I didn't want to leave him out. So, you know, we're going to put happy birthday Liliana and Austin. And I will show you, we're going to mix a few transfers together because the happy birthday one is just a tiny bit too small for, this board is 18 by 12. So the happy birthday one is just a tiny bit too small. So one of the coolest things I think about Couture is that the chalk paste just wipes right off like this. Because then you can put new things on your board and it will never, it was like it was never there. See how clean and cut that is? So I gotta make sure I get all the color off so when it dries it's not purple tinted. So I said I was going to ramble about the company, and then I think I rambled about my kids. So the company has a really great compensation plan, and I really enjoy it. I've been with the company since July, and I have met phenomenal women and men. I went to a leadership conference in February, and it was a fantastic time. The compensation plan is fantastic. You get 25% sales on your website, and then 40% sales if you already have inventory in your stock. So a lot of times the stuff that maybe sells out, or people will come to you and say, hey, do you have this? And you're like, yes, I do. And so then you get 40% on that. I got little paper towel chunks. I have a rag. Let me go ahead and go at it here. So I just want to smooth out my surface because I used a paper towel to dry that all off. I got little paper towel chunks. Okay, so good as new, right? Just like a brand new board. So I'm gonna have to, because of the size of this board, I'm going to have to move it around a bit as we get going. I'm trying really hard to see if there's any kind of comments, but they don't. My computer is not the most reliable when it comes to say hi to my cat. When it comes to telling me who's commenting and who's not, or who's here. My phone is much more reliable. The problem is you're up here and I am not able to look. Okay, so here's my big fancy board, right? And I told you we have a happy birthday one, but it's not big enough for what I want it for. So what I want to do, I think, is actually customize the word happy. And Couture has these great fonts, and I cannot remember for the life of me what this one is called. But I have it in my book. So I'm going to write happy with this one. And then we're going to use the birthday from the transfer. So I'm going to show you a little bit with the lettering today. And I want to do 2 cupcakes on here too. I'm going to do one in blue and one in pink. So I want to kind of use some colors that aren't blue and pink. So this one is, let's see, what can we use here? I have a coastal. I think we're going to use coastal. And our transfers, or our squeegees, come in this size. This is our small squeegee. We always cut these up. I have, in every video that we have ever made, we talk about how big they are, and we always cut them smaller. It's just easier to work with them when they're a little smaller. And I have chunks of them everywhere. You can see all different sizes. So I'm going to work with this font today to write happy. And I don't necessarily need it centered. It doesn't really matter to me. But I think the better, you know, and these are all silk screen and adhesive, and they're reusable. So as you saw them in my book when I was showing you, they stick right to the chalkboard. Stick right to the chalkboard. This one has been used quite a few times actually. So we're going to spell out the word happy because, as I showed you, and I'll show you again, the happy on this is super small. And it's not that it's a big deal, but if I had a smaller board it would make more sense. But see, the happy is in this little banner right here, and that's really small for such a big board. So I want to write happy. And what you do is you just take a tiny bit. I'm trying to not knock my drink over as well. So you'll just take a tiny bit of paste and you'll spread it through there. And this is coastal. I'm just going to use, no, I'm not. I'm just going to use the little bit of paste I need. And you're going to spread it across the H. Can you guys see okay? Spread it right across the H. And it's silk screen, so it goes right through the screen. And the tricky part about paste is that you gotta kind of work fast because it dries quickly, which is great for lettering and for things that you're doing individually, of course. But if you are a slow worker, there are ways around it. You know, you can pull up the transfer and start over with different colors and such. But there is my beautiful H. Now, when I'm done with this, I actually just set them to the side for a minute. Ink is a little different. Ink I actually put in a basin of water and clean it out. I don't necessarily need to do that with chalk paste. I also have this really old board that I use to clean everything off with. So I just set it right on the board and let it sit there until I'm ready to wash it. Now this dries quick, so in just a minute you'll see it'll be dry, and then we can move right back onto the A. And this is the transfer that I have looked at it. I really like the cupcake. I like the cake too, but I wanted to do 2 cupcakes, one pink and one blue, or one pink and one green, one frosted and one for Liliana. I think I'm actually going to go get a basin of water just really quick while this dries. I don't want to. So, it's just drying off. I'm actually going to move this to the side and show you. So I'm going to move this to the side and just show you how So I have a little thing of water right here. And I just squirt it on here. And I take a paper towel. Norwex wipes really work well with this too, the Norwex. And I probably shouldn't talk about that, but any kind of fiber see, and it comes right off. And then I make sure to watch the other side too. And I use a mix between paper towel and wipes, so it's a mix for me. And as long as that screen gets cleaned, you are all good. Because sometimes you'll have, like if you look at the H for you'll have a little bit of the staining of the paste or of the ink, whichever you're using, and they do stain. But as long as the silk screen as long as the screen stays there, you're all good. So here's my wonderful H for the beginning of our happy. As I said, as soon as it dried, we could move on. It doesn't usually take very long to dry, and in my basement it takes even less time because the dehumidifier is running. For those of you who aren't on my regular page or don't know, I'm from Michigan, so we're in a Michigan basement right now. And we have a dehumidifier because that's what we do in Michigan. So as you can see, this part of the H is not quite dry yet, but the parts that I need to be dry are. So one of the other cool things that I have been taught to do, this is the backing to one of my transfers, and I can simply put my A right on there so that I'm not messing up the wet paint. I have it stick, and I'm going to overlap because it's cursive. And spread it across. Now I always make sure to thin it out a little. The thinner layers dry quicker. Plus you don't want to waste paste. And when you come up, you got a perfect A. So one of the cool things that I have seen other people do is they will take a blow dryer to it to make it a quicker process for them. I don't often do that because, like I said, in Michigan, things dry pretty quickly anyway down here because of the dehumidifier. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background, but it's running right now, in fact. So one of the things I can do while we wait is I am going to use this birthday. So I'm going to open up this transfer and cut out what I need from it while we wait for the A to dry. So the cool thing about the transfers is that you can mix and match, as you're about to see. I mean, if you like something on one transfer, you can use it again and again. And then there are parts of transfers that I don't think I've ever used. But one of the cool things is when they have accent pieces, like these stars right here, or dots. I don't really know what they are. Dots, I guess. They're very cute. And I will probably use them more times than just with this transfer. So you can like mix and match. Though some people's brains don't love that, but I love to mix and match. It makes my work my own and not run-of-the-mill like everybody else's. Not that anyone's artwork is run-of-the-mill, but I don't like mine to be the same. So I am going to use birthday from this transfer. And one of the things that you'll do before you will I have the books that you guys saw at the beginning, but when you don't have books, which nothing comes with a book, so you have to order a book separately, you're going to want to write back on all your transfers. Because they're adhesive, they stick to only one side of the plastic thing that they come on. So I found that it was easier for me to keep all of my stuff in a book. So there's our birthday, and I'm not sure where that PPY, probably here, and then Liliana and Austin or something, you know. I'm kind of winging it. I didn't really have a plan. I just wanted to do something cool for the kid's birthday that everybody's going to be able to see. And I really, really enjoy this cupcake down here. So I've gotten a fair amount of new followers lately, and I wanted to shout out to you guys for giving this a chance and watching my live and seeing what this great, amazing product can do. There's a few really great things about the company that I always have to share. The compensation plan, which I mentioned earlier, is pretty awesome, along with your 25% and your 40% discounts, or discount and compensation plan. For every 200 PV that you get in a month, you get 20 designer dollars. And how it comes is it just comes in a code. So it's not like they say, oh, we're going to give you 20 designer dollars, but you have to spend it on this product. That's not how it works. You fill your cart with whatever you're going to use, and then you put in the code, and it takes it off. So the $20 that you've gained, you get to buy whatever you would like with it. Which is pretty awesome, because that means if you want to put it toward a board, you can. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. I thought we had a double P. We might have a double L. Not a double P, though. I only have a double T, not a double P. That's fine, though. So this is our P. Trying to make sure this A dried. It was wet. So... just take the P, stick it right on there since it's dry. The weird thing about working with cursive font is that I try really hard to make sure it's straight. Cursive and I are not friends. Now, because it's a cursive font, I'm going to let this P dry before I put the next P on. Ordinarily, I will just keep moving. So we'll just scrape it. And there's my perfect P. So I'm going to let this one dry before I do the next P, just because it's cursive and I want it to measure up right. Generally speaking, if I have a P, I just do P, P. And you don't have to, if you're using the same color, you don't have to dry the screen right away. And it's okay and it works out well. I am just not going to do it today because of the fact that we're using cursive and I want it to look super duper wonderful, since it's going to be hanging up for 60 people to see when they come to my daughter's birthday party. I'm even going to clean the P off, which I don't always do. It's the same color. I'm just nervous that it will dry on the screen and then we will be without it. So one of the other things that we do at Couture, when we first open a brand new transfer, like you guys watch me pull this out, right? I will take it off the backing and I will stick it to something like my t-shirt or my pant leg or something, just to fuzz it up a little bit on the back. You don't want the adhesive to be too much, because then when you pull it off, it may rip, or it may stretch. So like you're pulling it off and it's stretching, and it'll distort the words or the letters or whatever it is that it has. And so I really like to make sure that they're fuzzed well and that I'm able to make it work well. Come on, P. So one of the other great things about being a designer is the discount that you get on products. So each of the transfers that you see here, depending on the size, like this is kind of a larger one, they run different prices. So one of the cool things about being a designer is that you get 40% off your entire inventory purchase. So always you get 40% off because it's your designer discount. So usually I work a little faster than this. I didn't really have a vision for what I was going to do, though. I came down here kind of willy-nilly, like, this is, I'm going to make a board and I'm going to show everybody how to do it. But ordinarily I would have already moved forward and done the next word. But I'm not exactly sure what we're doing yet, so I'm kind of winging it. I know I want to use the cupcakes. I don't know where the placement's going to be. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of winging it. So sometimes it takes a minute because I'm letting things dry, and but the lettering specifically takes a little bit longer than the other transfers. As you saw, the H, you just rip it right off and it comes off. You'll watch Birthday, you'll do the same thing. So if you're using an already made silkscreen transfer, it's a lot easier to get things done quicker. When you're customizing things, it takes just a little bit longer, and it's not ridiculous still. I mean, we're through 3 letters, and then once I get the birthday on, I mean, once things are like bigger and they start to come together, it happens quickly and it looks phenomenal. You'll also have to excuse, and I know I've been talking for 15 minutes, but you'll have to excuse my voice today. I'm not feeling great. I don't know if it's the weather change. You know, up until last week it was not all that warm in Michigan, and now all of a sudden we're looking at 80 degrees, and don't get me wrong, I am excited about the 80-degree weather, but it has done and wreaked havoc on my allergies. So you'll have to excuse my voice today. So it's already dry. This part is not, I can tell, but now I want to make sure that it's even. So I line it up just above it, and then I move it over. And it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I think the less perfect it is, the more authentic it looks. So you make it yours and you make it unique. What do we think? Someone's watching. I don't even know who's watching. Like I said, my computer is not live friendly. I have a hard time sometimes seeing anything. So it looks like the Y will fall in here somewhere. see. Y. All right, the Y will fall here. So we're gonna do the birthday, and I want to do it in the same color because it's the same message. Happy birthday. Maybe here? What do you think? Because the Y will be like right here. And that's not to say we can't put something over here, because I have those little stars that I had showed you. There was a whole bunch of stuff that you could just decorate with, little accent pieces. So I'm going to use the same color chalk paste because it's the same, happy birthday is the same like message. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's different fonts, it's the same message. So you'll see with birthday, it won't take nearly as long because it's already a pre-made word. So then I just spread the paste across. I'm also pretty frugal with my paste, so that's another reason that it will last you a long time if you stay frugal with it. So your instincts are always going to be to pull from this side, but once you can get it up, you want to pull from the middle all the way across. And all I'm doing with my screens, you can see me over here in the corner, is putting them right on here so that they can be washed. So once my P dries, it's still not dry, then we will work on the Y. And then I am going to start on their names and the cupcakes. And the cupcakes even have the ability to have candles in them, which is awesome, I think. And remember, I had said earlier, I'm going to mention again, that you can do all of this with the same transfers. So I can wash these off, put them back in my book, and reuse them with our ink. So if I wanted to make a shirt that said Happy Birthday Liliana in Austin, I could. Using the same exact techniques and stuff that we're doing today. So while I wait for that P to dry, just finish up, I'm going to really quickly wipe down these transfers so that I can put them away, try to maintain the mess, since we're using so many different transfers today and not all the same. I think my father is watching. I can't really see, but I think it says he's watching. Probably looking for the kids, and I'm doing something not kid friendly today. My kids are actually at school. So when I was upstairs and I could, hi, and I could use the sink, I actually just ran the transfers right through the sink. Like, I would go over and run water right on top of them. And then when I was all done with that, I would just stick them sticky side up on my counter and let them dry, which is what I'm going to do to this one since it doesn't quite have a spot yet. So I'm going to stick it over here on my little counter thing and let it dry. I want to get this Y done so we can move forward. Okay, so the Y is huge, which is why I put the birthday down a little bit. When you see it, you're going to be like, wow, it's a big Y. It is a big Y. But I don't see a smaller one. I told you guys when we first started, this font is a weird cursive font, and it's very cool looking, but sometimes I can't tell which letters are which letters. I wrote harvest once, and I wrote it with not a V, because V is like a weird looking letter in this font specifically. Like I said, I'm not feeling great, and I got a little bit of allergy mess, so you have to excuse the sniffling and the coughing and the weird voice. So there's my happy and my birthday. So we are trucking right along today. So Couture sells, I believe, 5 or 6 different fonts now, and that was one of them, was the cursive one that I wrote happy with. And then I will show you what I want to write the kids' names in. And I want to use the same font for both names, but I'm going to use different colors. Let me find it, and I'll show you the lettering that I really like. Here it is. Okay. So this is the font I plan on using for their names. I cannot remember what the name of it is, but I will find it and I will post it afterwards. It's gonna be backwards, Mark. I have it on selfie mode because it's easier for me to see the screen. So it's gonna be backwards too because it's on selfie mode. And I've tried to do it the other way and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't even have another, it just doesn't work. I can't then see the screen. I can't do anything with it. It's, also I wanted to show you that birthday is completely dry. You can run your fingers across it. It's completely dry. So we're going to start with Liliana, and we're going to start over here because I don't want too much space. Okay, let me make sure the L is even. And Liliana's name is long too. Okay, and I am going to use, we're all done with this coastal color now that we've gotten Happy Birthday done. And because of my super dry Michigan basement that I was talking about, or super wet, not wet, but dry, I always put a little bit of water in my paste before I close them. My wet basement that I make dry with a dehumidifier. I think it's a compliment, Mark, that you think I could write Happy Birthday backwards. I wish I could. I actually think I'm going to use yellow. This is called Canary Yellow. And we'll make Liliana's name yellow. So I'm going to use the same small squeegee that I used for the other lettering. It's easier for me to handle that way. We also make a very large squeegee. And we have a handled squeegee, so that they're even easier to manage and work with when you need them to be. Sorry, I was putting something away and shouldn't have left you hanging. So you just spread it across the L. And I always put the excess back into my tub so that I have it for next time. And there's my L. And then these ones have lowercase too. And they have uppercase. And I can't decide if I want to stick with all uppercase or all lowercase. Because this is the lowercase I. So it almost looks like it should connect. Which we could do. Ooh, I left a print. So what I can do now, I don't want to leave a print in my L. So I'm going to take my rag, wipe it off, like it never happened. And then because I just used it, I'm just going to reuse it and be really quick. And wait for it to dry. So this transfer, which is the one that we were going to use just for the cupcake down here, also has candles. So you put cupcakes in the candles, which is kind of cool. You see the candles? And they have like little flames at the top. Hopefully this isn't too incredibly boring for you guys to watch. I know that font sometimes takes a while to dry, but I wanted to do a demonstration about how versatile it can be, and as far as customization goes, it's really not a hard thing to do. I know sometimes people are a little turned off by pre-made transfers because they think, how are they going to make them their own? But we have many ways of doing that, whether it's just like a style thing, or it's using fonts and letters to write your own last names or names on stuff, or however you are going to do it. I know for gift purposes, lots of people like to make things for gifts, which is awesome. I love getting homemade things for gifts. So you can always add last names, first names, welcome baby, whoever, anything you've got. And we've got transfers to fit all occasions. It's not just a birthday transfer or just a farmhouse transfer. You can mix and match and make your own stuff. Or you can use one and it will look fine even if you don't mix and match. But I wanted to give a little bit of a demonstration today on how to customize your things, because I know there was some concern with some of my designers and then some of the people who were looking to sign up. They thought it was the coolest thing ever, but they didn't know how to customize their work. So this is one of the very few ways, or one of the very many ways that you can customize your work, is by putting your own names on it, your own last names, your own first names, whoever you're making it for, however you want to do it. We have fonts to accommodate that, to make sure that you're able to do whatever it is that you're looking out to do. One of the other things that I like to do is mix and match my transfers, what you're seeing me do now, and that makes it my own. So people will say, like, where did you get that rocket ship? Well, the rocket ship is in the I Love You to the Moon and Back. But you don't have to use it with the I Love You to the Moon and Back. You can use it however you want to use it. Sorry about the sniffling again. I'm going to keep apologizing. It does not look dry. So I think I should probably invest in a blow dryer for down here now. So this is our pretty little eye. It's not little, it's huge is what it is. I wish I had. What did I do with that? This thing. So the silk, or the screen, has got to be on the right side, or you'll get the transfer stuck to it and it'll be the end. It'll be the end of the transfer. Oh no. And then the L for this one is super cute, I think. Look at how cute that little L is. We gotta wait for the eye to dry a little bit. In the meantime, though, I'm gonna start, I think, the cupcakes down at the, I want to make 2 at the bottom. That way we're not sitting waiting and waiting and waiting. So I'm going to open up this transfer over here. I'm using a whole bunch of transfers I've never used before today. And if you remember, I just want the cupcakes in the corner with the little with the little candles. My daughter is going to be super excited that her name is on a chalkboard in the middle of our dining room. Excuse my nose. Okay. Sorry, I moved the camera a little. I didn't mean to. I ran into it. Let's see what I can find. I wanted a few blues, like different colored blues. So we used the coastal already. So we don't want to use that again. Sorry, I'm reaching into the camera. All right. This is Nantucket. I used to have a really cute blue. I don't know what happened to it. So I am going to go ahead and use Nantucket. Now sometimes when I open my paste, I'll show you what happens. This has happened. Do you see how it's runny? And okay, so all I do is take the end of this paintbrush and I stir it so that the ink sets into all of the paste. Now, one of the other cool things, we have 35 chalk colors, so you'll never go without colors. But if you wanted to mix things to make them a little lighter, a little darker, however you wanted to do it, that is a possibility for you as well. They do stir well together and they do mix. I'm going to go ahead and use this squeegee that we've not used yet. Spread it across. Oh, I like it. Let's set this aside. I'm going to spray it with water too, just to start the cleaning process. So I think our I is dry. It is dry, which means we can move on to the little L. What did I do with the little L? I set it down somewhere. I showed you guys, and then what did I do with it? Oh no. Well, I am really sad right now. I am not finding my L. Stick it to my apron? No, I didn't. Okay, excuse me while I search for my L. I did find a lime too. Flower, a pineapple. Oh no! Remember I showed you, and then what was I doing with it? Oh no, no. My disorganization is on my nerves right now. Okay. Did I drop it? Sorry, y'all. Okay, so in order to spell Liliana's name, I need L's because that's what her name is. What on earth happened to my L? I remember taking it off and saying, hey, isn't this little L so cute? And then that was the last I saw it. I really have no idea where it went. I'm super, super disappointed right now. Because I was all ready to go. I even showed you guys the owl, like, let's do her name, and then I'm off all over looking for it, and I'm not finding it. I mean, I don't know, I think we're going to move on though. I don't know how we're going to move on with Noelle, but we're going to move on. Maybe I'll find it later. I don't know where I would have put it, that I can't find it, but I knew it was coming up, so I had showed you guys, and then I don't know what happened to it. Okay, I don't know. We're gonna move on though, because at some point I'll find it, or I won't. I don't. I think I have spent long enough looking for it at this point, so I seriously have no idea where it went, guys. Not even a little bit of a... I'm searching all over the place as you guys are just sitting there, so sorry about that. I was gonna try to finish this name here. Alright, I guess we're just gonna move forward and leave it blank for now. I really am bummed that I can't find that though, because we might have to erase the I and go with the uppercase I now, and then do Austin's name in all uppercase too, because I can't find the L anywhere. I don't have any idea where it would be. Okay, I guess we're gonna move forward. I don't know. Not sure what else to do other than erase it and start over with an uppercase I. Get stuck to my pant leg. Okay. I don't know. Messed up a little bit. So we're just gonna go ahead and erase the I and put the uppercase one in here. So I'm a little upset because I lost my L, but as you can see, it's easily fixed. It's not definitely not the end of the world, that's for sure. Because just chalk paste wipes right off. See, and then I'll take my, I don't know where that letter could have gone. It was little, remember? I'll take my little and just dry it off. And buffer it out a little. And we'll just have to use the uppercase ones, which makes this go faster, I might add, so. You just have to make sure that you're putting them even with each other. Do you see what I mean, though? It was not the end of the world. We were able to move past it without much of an issue. I do want to go ahead and start on my candles as well. So you're always going to mark the back with back. I always fuzz transfers that are brand new. Always, always. I still can't believe I lost that L. I'm pretty upset about it. Hopefully it turns up. It will, eventually. It'll be stuck to something and I'll be like, oh, there's my L. Okay, so Austin is turning 2. So I'm just going to make 2 little candles. I'm going to put them up a little bit because I'm still going to put the frosting on this, and I haven't yet. So I'm going to make the candles. I actually think I'm going to make the same color that I made the wrapper. So that Nantucket color. Do that. Take it off. And as I told you, the most wonderful thing about this stuff is that you can make it your own. So even when you have a little hiccup like we just did, where I completely lost a letter and we messed up a name, all it took was for me to wipe it off and we were back in business. Where are my little candles? Spray this water again. Keep these going here. Alright. Okay, and I'm going to start. There's my L. Here is my L. My long, or my large L, not my little one that I wish we had still that I somehow lost. I'm going to try to show you how to do this quickly. Let's hope it works. So all I do is take the backing to a little thing right there, measure it up, and go next to it. And then just, I don't push down on the letter that we just did. Let's hope it works. If not, we can wipe it and do it again. Okay, so what color do we want to make our frosting for? Back. Just fuzzing up my transfer. Okay, and then I am going to set this right on top of this. Like this. And then I think maybe for Austin's, we can do it a green. Do I have a green? I have a lime green open. You know, even with a big workbench, I feel like I'm out of space a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe my squeegee off and get to it. I'm really sorry about that owl disappearing, guys, and then I looked for it for a while you were on camera. That sucks. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that we were doing what I said we were going to do, you know? I wanted to show you that cool font, but it didn't work out that way. Spread a thin layer, make sure you get the whole screen. And pull it up. What do we think? Pretty cool, right? Okay. TVXY. So Liliana, is this dry? Dry enough that I can do the next letter. One of the cool things about signing on too is when you first sign on, you get a 50% coupon code that you can use, and it's good for one order. The one regret I have is not ordering more stuff with it. Because it was so cool that I got that much off. All this stuff can be like buffered out. See all my fingerprints? Okay, so one of the things that I do want to do really quick, because we're going to be working with the cupcake again, is just wipe down the cupcake. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because we're going to be making another cupcake here in a minute with five little candles. Now, if you follow my page and this is how you got here, you will know that it usually does not take this long to make a project. However, because there's so much customization in this one, it is taking me a little bit longer than normal. And we had to start over twice because I'm a tool and I lost some things. So I think I'm going to do, I can put the green away because we're done with the green for now. I'm super excited, actually. I think this came out really good. Even without the little L and all that, I'm still super happy about it. I think it came out looking pretty good. I'm using I believe this is magenta. I believe that's what it's called, for the little girlier cupcake over here. What I love about it is when you pull it up, look at how perfect that is. I love it. I would like to be very quick about this because if I can time it right, we won't have to wash the A in between, which would be cool. But you gotta time it just right, or you won't be able to do it. You pull that up, perfect N. Okay, and then because I wanted to do the A again before I washed it, I gotta be fast. But I told you there are ways around taking 8 years to do letters, and this is one of the ways. Because sometimes it does take a while when you're customizing. But when it's all done and you have something with your name on it or your last name on it, or you can give a one-of-a-kind gift, it's so worth the time that you put into it. And there's my baby's name. So happy birthday, Liliana. This is already almost dry, which is awesome. So now that we're done with this yellow, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. Like I told you, I have the dehumidifier on, and if you let it sit too long, stuff will dry. So just do a little bit of squirt of water, put the lid back on, tighten it up really good, and put the lid on. Now, because you can see these little ones over here, I think on this side I'm not actually going to do it that way. It's not bad looking, like I don't, and I'm sure from far away you can't even tell. But I think I'm going to just do the top part of the candles when I do the rest of it. This color, so we're going to go ahead and close it up. Not dry. That is not dry. Alright. Somewhere in my life I have an and. Where is it? I have a little and sign. Here it is. Here it is. So, cut out the and. Fuzz it up just a bit on like my apron or my pant leg. What color? We could do that same color that we did Happy Birthday in. I think that would look nice, right? This color is what we did Happy Birthday in. Yes. I want to use the tiny squeegee too, so I'm going to have to wash it off. So this is a really long live, guys. I don't think I've ever been live this long. But I really am excited about being able to customize stuff, and I wanted to show you how exciting it could be too. Oh no, I got some on my board. I'll get off here in a minute. My little and sign. Yeah, this is the longest I've ever been live, I think, ever doing anything, ever. So, we had a recent release, I think I mentioned earlier, of new transfers, and they're all summer oriented, which is cool. And you can check those out. I actually pin posted my website on this live. So if you scroll up to the pin post part, it'll tell you where to click or what website to go to look at our new stuff. I was hoping to be able to use like a blue, but it looks like the only blue I have would be way too dark for this board. So what I'm thinking is, instead of using a blue, I can use an orange or a white. Let's do white. And let's not do white. We'll do custard. Custard is like an off-white for Austin's name. Or we could use periwinkle, which is like purple. I don't know. Oh, what do you guys think? Custard? Gray? We could use a gray. I'm never sure. And I have to look at it for a while, so. Oops. We're gonna use mint. Mint. Although mint's very close to this color, I'm not sure I want to. I don't think I want to. I think we should use custard because it's much different. So I think I'm gonna find myself a custard. Although I do like the mint color as well. Like I said, we have 35 colors, and if you can't find something that you like, then you can always mix and match until you find something that you like. I don't know where my custard went. I can't find it. Here it is. Do I have one open? I do. Is this custard or sand? It's custard. I'd like to do Austin's name and custard. Okay, now that's a little dry for my taste. I just flung my squeegee. So I am going to actually spray some water in it and get it mixed up. And water actually just helps the properties separate and then mix together all right again. So adding water cannot hurt your paste. Okay, so we're doing Austin's name, yes. Austin. So what do we think so far? I know it's a long project this time, guys. Usually I'm so quick. Get on, pop on, I'm on 20 minutes, I ramble a while, and then I'm gone. This one took a long time. But I wanted you guys to see how cool customization could be. Especially when you're making something for your kids, or I actually plan at some point to go live and do t-shirts for my daughter and my son for when my other son is born. So at some point I'll be getting on here making big brother and big sister t-shirts, I think. Because I want them to have them for when they meet their baby brother. Then I feel like who could make them better than me? Alright, what we wanted to do for our candles. I'm gonna use a regular candle this time. You still gotta put the little sparks on the end too. I'm gonna make these ones mint, I think. Remember, I really wanted to use mint and then I put it away, but I think I'm gonna use it on these candles because I'm gonna make the top of it purple. I really don't like this A. I actually think I'm going to go with a different color. We're going to erase it. And I will buffer it out in just a minute. I just didn't like, I don't know. Think about going with actual white. Or elephant gray, although that's really dark. Let's go with white. Okay. So to do these candles, I gotta move fast because this will dry to the screen otherwise. So let's get moving on these candles. Swipe it right across. 1. 2. 3. 4. I have one coming out this way. 5. So if you're just tuning in, I've been live for a while. We started with a whole different board that I had made for something previous, wiped it off, and restarted it to write Happy Birthday Liliana, and I'm going to write Austin. I had started an A. I didn't like the way it looked, so we erased it and we started again on something different. I'm also making cupcakes for the kid's birthday, not actual cupcakes, these kinds of cupcakes. So as you can see, 5, he got 2 little ones, because he will be 2. And we wanted to switch out the A. I didn't like it the way it looked. So we're going to switch out the A into a white A. I just have to wash it off. And then we can get started on Austin's name again, like we had already started, and I didn't want to do it that way. So if you are just tuning in, my kids are turning 2 and 5. And we are having a birthday party for Liliana. And this is actually the board that hangs in my dining room. And at the beginning of the video, I erased what was on it from before Christmas. I actually did it, and it was I love you, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. And I erased that, and we started this. And it has taken some time. I've been customizing, though. I obviously put Liliana's name in. We've had to erase a few times because I lost the L. You name it, and it has happened this time around. Move this down a little bit. I want to make sure his name fits. So I am actually, where are we at here? I was going to do a regular white, right? I said, yes I did. Have a white opened? No. So So here is my white. We should be able to knock his name out without a problem. It's very easy, 5 letters. Hopefully I'm not frozen. My computer shows me frozen, so although my computer is not Facebook Live friendly at all. Oh, I like that much better. So this is really cool if you wanted to customize something for a friend's kid. I know I have a few girls on my team who actually customize things that people want them to make. So they'll post something and say, hey, if you want your last name on this, you let me know. And then they charge them a flat rate, and then off they go. Alright, let's get my U here. Well, let's do this. So we need to do the frosting for Liliana's little cupcake here. Go ahead and spray it and wipe it down. Because we're using the same cupcake, we actually have a transfer, I believe we still have it. And it is multiple different kinds of cupcakes, and for whatever reason I don't have it. Which is unusual because I usually have all the transfers, but I don't have that one. So we are using a cupcake off of a separate transfer, and I am mixing and matching all these transfers together to make it what I want it to be. And I had wanted to use a light purple for hers. Made one kind of boyish and one kind of girlish. Not that it really matters, but Liliana likes purple a lot. And Austin, I don't think really cares about this at all, but let me go ahead and wipe my smaller squeegee. One of them I flung and I don't even know where it went. Spread it across. Make sure I thin it out a little so it's just one little layer. Pull it off. I'm okay with it though. I'm still okay with it. Like this one showed up and I was worried about this one showing up, and I still think I'm okay with it. It showed up and it showed up and it is what it is. And then I wanted to do the little flames, which we'll get to. Okay, I think that's dry enough that we can do the U. So for those of you tuning in, I am Tasha from Tasha's Timeless Treasures, and I am a Couture independent designer. I have been live for quite a minute doing this live demonstration here of my birthday board. So my board goes in my dining room, and my kids' birthdays are coming up, so I'm actually decorating it for their birthdays. So that it'll say happy birthday Liliana and Austin right on my dining room wall. So I am an independent designer, and I make a 25% commission on sales. So if you're interested at all in that, get at me and we will hook you up. We'll talk a little bit about which way you want to take your business, because one of the coolest things about this is even if you're not a designer, you can buy the supplies and make your own stuff and sell it wherever you feel like it. That is the awesomest thing awesomest, like that's a word. That's one of the coolest things about this company, is that you can genuinely do what you want with it. And once the supplies are in your hand to make things, there is no rules on how you do it. So I am going to leave that like that. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I'm okay with it. Let me tell you why. Because it's mine, and that's why. It's all mine, and that's the way I put it, and it happened that way, and I'm going to leave it that way. And let me tell you who's going to notice it. Probably no one but me. I've learned that I nitpick my own stuff more than anyone else ever would. So I am done with this purple, and I don't like to let my stuff sit out, so I am going to close it up. Put it away. The white is still open because I am not done with Austin's name yet. And then I am going to come back here. Let's see, is this one open? It is. Okay. I would like to do my flames now. So I have 7 to do. And I'm going to try to do them all in one very swift move. As you see, I got a little over there, and you know what, I'm going to use my finger. It'll be faster, cleaner. Okay, all my flames are lit. What do we think? Do we like it? Do we wish I would make the little sticks a little longer? Is that driving anyone else crazy? It's driving me nuts. These 2 sticks are driving me crazy, the ones that are not all the way to the bottom of the cupcake. We'll just wipe my finger off, and we're going to continue on continuing. So if you are interested in purchasing anything that you see today, you can contact me, or you can check out my website, which is in the pinned post. I know we have been live for some time now. I've said that about 6 times, but we have been. I mean, we've been live longer than I've ever been live before. And so the whole point of my live was to show you guys how to customize, and I think that I have adequately done that today. If you at all have any questions, please contact me. I am gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna go pick up my kids, so I'm gonna sign off. If you catch the replay and have questions, just leave them on here and I will get back to you. I was gonna leave you on, but I feel like at this point maybe I should get off and let it post, and then if you need anything, you know where to find me. I am here, and you can leave your name, or you can leave your questions right on this post, and I will get back to you, and I will post a picture as soon as this is finished. So everybody who watched, anyone who has questions, whatever, get a hold of me. Have a great day.